Well, what do you want to talk about?
Wrestling. Wrestling is good.
Why do you do that? Oh. Why not?
It's fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's episode of Spot Show Live Stream. Is that a little better? Anyway, hopefully everybody's having a good, safe week. Getting a little chilly here in Georgia. I guess we kind of finally hit fall, I guess, today. It's been kind of warm a little bit down here, but today we had some rain and quite a bit chilly. I think it got almost felt like it got colder outside as the day progressed, but that's just the way I felt. Luckily I didn't get too wet, but I got to do my erosion control inspections in the afternoon when the rain stops. So happy about that. But anyway, hopefully everybody made it home safely, made it to work safely, and all that good stuff with this rainy weather this morning here in Georgia or wherever it might rain at today, and wherever you're watching this from. Could be California, could be Alabama, could be New York, could be Wisconsin, could be Pennsylvania, could be India, could be Japan. Anyway, just goofing off here. Anyway, yes, this is Spot Show Live Stream where we discuss a little bit of news here and bullshit about today's wrestling. Of course, tomorrow night, if you want to talk about classic wrestling, I do another live stream called Wrestling Gold Friday Night. It's going to be a little change to that. I know last week I said I was going to play an episode of Boris Malenko's Global Wrestling Alliance, but I can only find one episode. Trying to find a certain one, I think, that had his sons, wrestling tag team. This episode, the episode I did find, didn't have them in particular. So I want to go back to Plan A, Plan B, of course. Going to be doing a watch along of Georgia Championship Wrestling from 1981. Any adventures for me this week? No, not really. Kind of a regular old work week. Look, tomorrow's gonna be a little bit of adventure. I gotta go back down to South Georgia, Lake Park, Georgia. It's just gonna be a turn and bird trip. I gotta go down there and do a little proof roll observation and kind of find my drone around the site. Probably that site for the last time. I believe that one will be completely done. As far as I'm maybe this maybe a couple little things might pop up here and there, but that might just send somebody else down there to do that, or it might be something that maybe an engineer or another person above me might have to go check out. So yeah, tomorrow should be my last trip to Lake Park, Georgia. Go down there, do my thing, turn around, come back. Not to brag, but I'm going to have a lot of windshield time. And in case you don't know what that is, because trust me, yesterday I told a friend of mine, I was like, yeah, tomorrow, I'll be doing a lot of windshield time. And she was like, what the bloody hell is that? Jamaican. That's my best Jamaican. What the bloody hell is windshield time? You know what a windshield is usually on? It's like a car, yeah, a vehicle like a truck. And therefore I'll be driving down there and spend a lot of time driving down there and driving back. What the bloody hell? What did you just say? A lot of drive time. That sounded Middle Eastern, not Jamaican. Anyway, you get my. So yeah, that's the only adventure of the week. But anyway, let's get to it. Here it is Thursday night. As I repeating myself, just kind of making sure everything's on. Everything is going. It says it's streaming according to the YouTube or not? Yeah, YouTube thing here. Streaming. All right. Don't want to happen what has already happened to me twice, where I'm sitting there talking for a long time and poof, nothing. It's not being recorded. It's not being streamed. Nothing. It's done. So yeah, let's get to some a little bit of the news this week. I don't touch on every little thing. Just a few stories here and there kind of pops my interest. Hopefully, it pops your interest too. So let's get down to it. Dutch Mantel, uh, poor guy. Basically, early this month, uh, Dutch Mantel and his wife has been, going through some significant health issues, and they had, spent some time in the hospital, and a GoFundMe page was set up. The usual suspects. I believe Chris Jericho donated. Uh, who else? Uh, Jim Cornette donated, and Tony Khan himself donated. AEW president Tony Khan donated $5,000 to his GoFundMe. It wound up raising I believe it says there's $64,200. Um, well, actually, it said Chris Jericho only donated 1,500. He usually donates like 5,000. I guess this week, close to Christmas, $1,500. But anyway, so apparently Dave Meltzer did not like this one bit. So, wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer of F4, anyway, shared some notable details of the campaign's progress and Mantel's situation. So, let's see what Mantel said. They raised $64,200, with the most of the top donors being anonymous, and the largest donors were President Tony Khan at $5,000, Jericho at $1,500. Meltzer stated, with Khan, many have pointed out that Mantel, as a podcaster, was brutal to Khan, even being critical of him when the promotion was at its popularity peak, and recently criticized him for the contract terms of Swerve Strickland got in his recent deal. Uh, he went on, it it is something when a former wrestler gets mad at a promoter who clearly can afford it for what he pays the top talent, and he was going he was doing it after he knew the new deal was put together and that was going to make the company exceeding profitability. Wrestlers using the old school "he doesn't draw money" argument doesn't understand that this isn't mom and pop week to week business based on live event numbers, but one that is worst case scenario here could generate 250 million next year. At the most of the revenue is guaranteed ahead of time. Uh, and Mantel responded to his comments. Basically, it sounded like he was, um, Dave Meltzer was kind of criticizing Tony Khan, giving this wrestling legend here a uh, donation for the GoFundMe for us, take care of some hospital bills, and which is a cool deal. I mean, uh, from what I hear, a lot of people talk about Tony Khan wrestlers and all. Even Dutch Mantel on this episode of his story time with Dutch Mantel, which is a pretty good podcast. If you're listening to it, pretty cool stuff. Tells some pretty good stories. Gives his honest opinion, I do believe. Um, he he kind of he said actually met Tony Khan at one time, and they when he met Tony Khan, you could tell he was a wrestling fan, uh, and didn't really realize who he was till somebody, he finally asked somebody. This is, according to him, years before AEW was even thought of. But said, Tony Khan even told him at one time, "Hey, I would like to, maybe start a promotion or get into the business himself, not as a wrestler, of course, but as a owner of a promotion, whatnot." But, so, as far as Tony Khan as a person, uh, nobody has anything bad to say about Tony Khan as a person. Uh, well, one person maybe, but supposedly one person. Uh, but other than that, they say he's a cool guy, happy go lucky, and loves the wrestling business. So this was uh, Dutch Mantel's response to that. Dutch Mantel says on this podcast, "While I try not to give anything Dave Meltzer writes any believability or credence, but that kind of pissed him off, or pissed me off." That's what Mantel said. "I think this actually speaks more to Tony Khan's humanity than it says about me. Yes, I've been critical of him, but isn't that my job? To come on here and talk about the business? I've said he needs more story, and he doesn't need just to put matches together for 15 minutes for no apparent reason other than they're going to have a good match. I've seen acrobatics. I've seen gymnastics. I've seen the greatest moves in the world. Everybody has if you watch enough wrestling on TV. But tell me a story. I'm doing my job. Saying I'm blasting him on, and I think it says much more about Tony Khan than it does about me." Dutch Mantel continues, "You knock me, Dave, but you're knocking my family now. That's a no-no almost in any business. I almost died. My wife almost died. But yet to make a point that you don't like me, you got to come out, you got to blast me for that. So yes, I did not I did not say flattering things about Tony Khan, but Meltzer, you've done a lot worse because you've had your thing going for a lot longer than I have. I was just basically doing my job. He pisses me off. I can't quite get my thoughts together. I'm still recovering from what he said. I would like to walk up on him. I can't now. I'm too old now. But I would like just to walk up on Dave Meltzer and slap the dog shit out of him. Some things deserve a good hard slapping, not a punch, but a good hard slapping." Yes, that's the words according to Dutchman. See, it's not again. You know, it's Dutchman tell bad motherfucker for a reason. Basically, now here's my opinion of the whole thing. No matter how much you kind of don't like a person or something like that, but you see that person in the hospital or whatnot, or going through some bad things, kind of keep your. You don't have to buy him dinner. You don't have to donate to his cause or anything, but don't go online. Don't this or what Dave Meltzer done. Go online, kind of knock him as he's freaking down because somebody else that he's buddies with, or a part of a company or the owner of a company he praises, he knocks or whatever. Uh, some things you just kind of keep your opinions to yourself. In other words, trying to make a long-winded thing out of it. It's like it says more about Dave Meltzer than anything. It's like, dude, I was in a hospital, uh, almost died, like he said. His wife almost died. So it ain't just him. You're kind of putting shade on it. Like like Dutch said, it's his wife too. And yes, that does deserve a good hard slap in the face. In my opinion, don't condone violence, but sometimes good hard slapping is what some people need. But yeah, it's just this 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 is just one of those times where Dave just should have shut up. Just said, okay, uh, if he was going to report about it, to say, hey, wrestling legend Dutch Mantel, bad motherfucker, is in a hospital. Hopefully, the bad motherfucker that he is, he'll rebound. Uh, and or we wish that him and his wife. You don't have to say the bad. But um, just say, hey, we wish Dutch and his wife full recovery. That's it. That's all you had to say, Dave. Um, now I don't know, Dave. I'm can't say that I'm a fan of this Observer newsletter. I didn't read enough of it when I was well when I was younger or anything like that. Uh, I read a lot of stuff on the internet when basically KP finally broke at the well, it broke a long time ago, but it was really when what year it was 92, 93 when uh, businessman went to the Jersey Senate and said, "Hey, this is all a work. Just get out paying some taxes." That's where he said it. Then in the beginning of the Attitude Era, when Vince said, "Hey, we're not going to have no more storylines like that insult your intelligence." So, um, and basically, it went, especially in Vince McMahon, and it went from wrestling to sports entertainment. Even though World Wrestling was still in the title, the Federation of Entertainment was still in the title of this company. But never read the dirt sheets for his Wrestling Observer. Most of the stuff, found out the carny words in wrestling on the internet. You found out what blading is, or doing a job, or what a jobber is, and going Broadway, uh, heel, babyface. We just knew good guy rule. The Bill After magazines. Hey, that's another term we learned when the internet kind of spruced up. The After mags, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, Inside Wrestling, Wrestler magazine. Um, all we know is fan favorite and rule breakers. Uh, yeah, that's what it said. Yeah, uh, or most liked, or more popular, most hated, wrestler of the years and stuff. Anyway, you kind of get my ideas, but that's all you gotta say. I'm pretty sure normal people, that's what they do. They, find out somebody they don't really like, and they're mixed. They're pretty sure, inside or maybe a closer friend that might say something else, but around mixed company and people that might know this person, they feel ill. You probably say the same thing. You'll probably be like, "Hey, I hope they get feeling better." Thoughts and prayers and all that good shit. But no, this fucker had a dam up his big mouth, and now I usually chuckle at the Dave Meltzer thing is 5 star, 5 star, people make fun of his 5 star matches and blah blah whatever, and I get it. He's just a guy that gives his opinion. I support that, but this is where you kind of start a line there. Just leave it alone. I mean, don't try to jab people when they're down and knock them, and just because he not Tony Khan and his promotion. I mean, good gosh, a lot of people have done that. And actually, I gave a little bit of praise. This week's Dynamite, you can go back. It is up. This week's AEW Dynamite recap, of course, as usual. After this, go check it out. Gosh, I hope this thing's on. It says it is, but um, so yeah, I mean, it makes company, but maybe like I was saying, it makes company, uh, public public if you will, baby. He'll say, "Hey, thoughts and prayers to this person who's going through some hard times," because most normal people would be like, "Okay, despite how I feel about the person, you know, don't want to see him in a bad situation." That's the way most normal people are, and this jack off obviously is this on in his own little world, own little bubble. Anyway, uh, hopefully I describe that best I can. I mean, of course, this is my opinion, but uh, me being a thing about being a Dave Meltzer fan, kind of um, this pretty much kind of washes that away. See, that's the thing about the internet and social media. It does kind of weed away the cool people from the asshole. And thanks to Twitter and Facebook and all kinds of social media, TMZ, of course, it kind of, and how some of these rock stars and adult pretenders, uh, they like to, they seem to want to alienate half their fan base, uh, which is not good for their. I mean, I've explained this. Uh, you know, don't talk about politics on here because, hey, I want as many fans from both sides of the bird, both wings of the bird, to feel safe and watch this and have fun. This is what it's all about. It's all about having fun. Why is my phone going on? The reason I'm checking this, hopefully, if this is not running, somebody will tell me. But, okay, that's work related. I know what I'm doing tomorrow. They're talking about another job, dealing with that. Anyway, but yeah. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Oh, I forgot to do the whole sales pitch. Sorry, excuse me. Let me go ahead and do it right quick. Hey, if you watch this live, join me in the chat. If you just want to say hello, like Joe King said, hey, what's up? I'll strike time. Hey, no problem, buddy. Just I'm going through my own uh Dave Meltzer rant. Didn't think I would ever really do it, but I feel uh for his asshole kind of move this week, gotta do it. I should let me see. If you want to listen to the whole clip, I will share it. Let me find it here. There it is. Not that one. Son of a bee sting.
Said it best. Fundamentally, actors are a race apart. This group is divided into two sections. First, those who have talent and have never received any.
Sorry. You're not clips off that. And try to do something here. I'll let that doing whatever it's doing. So if you want to see what was totally said as far as what Dave Meltzer said, and what Dutch Mantel's full reaction was, uh, here's a link to that. But watch that or during this, yeah. But yeah, that's a I don't want to say dick move because everybody watch Team America. See, this is what we do. I do sometimes. How about a little bit of wrestling? They might switch up to something. But uh, remember that scene? If anybody ever seen Team America from Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the South Park creators, funny as hell movie. Unless you kind of in your feels about stuff, you might want to not watch it. Totally not PC. If you're an actor, don't watch it because they went out of their way to kind of knock every one of those actors. Matt Dane. But there was a scene where it's in bars. Hey, there's three types of people. There's There's dicks, and there's assholes, and there's pussies. I said pussies. Uh, I don't think I would say it. I think dick and asshole. And he says the this one whine and cry about thing why the assholes shit on everybody. But dicks, they don't care. Dicks, they and dicks. Anyway, yeah. If you ever watch that movie, if you just love funny movies, check that out. So definitely, I'm not calling Dave Meltzer a dick. I'm just going to call him an asshole. If there's an asshole the weird. Maybe he can give himself the asshole of the year award. So, because that's just a kind of an asshole thing to do. But, anyway, so yeah, but hats off to those people like Tony Khan, Jim Cornette, Chris Jericho, the usual people who donate to Dutch's family. Those of them, and glad to see Dutch is back, fully recovered. And I guess he's fully recovered. He did a podcast this week. And I do recommend. I forgot this kid's name. James something. His podcast with Dutch Mantel. He does one with Stevie Richards. He did one with Shane Douglas for a while. Those were pretty good. Sometimes he does shooting reviews with other people. They're really good. Really enjoy watching his stuff. But yeah, I say enough about this. Should we move on? Should we all just say what this title of the video said? Dave Meltzer. Yeah. Let's see. That's like I was saying a few weeks ago. Me, I try. If you're an AEW fan, come along. WWE fan, come along. TNA fan, come on. Even though I don't talk about TNA as much, and I need to. At least I need it. If I'm going to do this, I need to kind of watch everything, which sometimes time and everything else kind of gets in the way. But hello, Brenda Watson. But yeah, let me go ahead and do this right quick. Do the hey, if you're watching this live, please join me in the chat. Just leave a comment how you feel about anything I discuss tonight, or just simply say hello, and I will say hello right back. Of course, your comments I'll answer as well. Also, if you watch this on the replay, like I said, it's as soon as this stops streaming, it will always be on there, so you can always go back and watch. And I'll share the link on my social media accounts, which you can see right on here. Separate TikTok, I don't share them on TikTok because it's usually just short videos you gotta put on there. But Facebook, Twitter, if you follow me on there, the link to tonight's show will be on there. Yeah, Twitter and Facebook. Also, so if you watch on there, leave a comment about anything I discussed tonight. How you feel about Dave Meltzer? Did you read his newsletter when you were younger before the internet? Also, if you entertained by this, and feel free to click that thumbs up button. Lets me know you like it, and that's always appreciated. Also, be a champ and click on that subscribe button, and that's greatly appreciated too, because I like to keep growing this channel and see what I can do with this. Anyway, now all that bullshit's out of the way. Let's let it rip, and I've been ripping anyway. So, and here we go. Okay, let's get rid. Let's talk a little bit about Jack Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger. He he got in a little bit of this is what I'm saying. This is the other spectrum to this. He supposedly called Tony Khan communist. Not sure. I believe because maybe he was for the the party who lost this year. That's what I'm guessing because from what I've read, I think Jack's always been kind of a, or Jake, excuse me, is a pretty conservative guy. You know, he likes smoking his weed. Um, so, so yeah, a while back, um, so yeah, here's the story. Last week, as America and the world was processing that Donald Trump not only won a second term as president, but he did so convincingly, that there wouldn't be weeks or months of recounts and legal challenges. I'm reading this from another website. Jack Hager did some late night X posting, Twitter posting, in support of his candidate. Hager was Team Taker, which Undertaker. Of course, everybody knows now Undertaker, supported Trump, um, which led to more, about the latest wrestling promotion he worked for and the man who owns it, Tony Khan. He since deleted them, but two which garnered the most attention read, "Do you want proof that Tony Khan is a communist and threatened me to be silent or else?" And Tony Khan is someone who threatened my job if I didn't stop promoting Trump. He is a communist. That was his tweets. So, of course, um, saying that did cost him some indie bookings. Again, I'm pretty sure, I'm guessing Jack Swagger or Jake Hager has kept his money, did well his money, and can do other things, which I'm going to get to at some point here. Um, but that did cost him some bookings. So when you kind of do that, it does kind of, I understand you kind of a little frustrated. Um, I mean, Tony Khan didn't say nothing about the CM Punk when he was being a little political in AEW. So if he was, so be it. Um, but I mean, what's going to be good for one is good for all. But even though he was on, yes, he was on the other team. So yeah, it cost him some bookings because somebody didn't like the way uh, Jack Hager handled this situation, and I didn't like the fact that he was a Trump supporter, and supposedly I guess there were some backers wanted to back out of it too because of him, and they pretty much canceled the booking. So anyway, this leads to now he did an interview with Stories with Bradshaw and Briscoe, another pretty good. I think they usually have them on YouTube as well. Pretty good little podcast or YouTube show. This is uh, Justin Hawk Bradshaw or Bradshaw and Jack Briscoe talking about wrestling stuff like that. Watched a few of them. One of them was Road Dogg. I remember watching and seeing and listening to. Another one was Bill Watts, who was pretty good because Briscoe and Watts had some history. So anytime you can listen to a couple wrestlers or any kind of entertainers uh, kind of talk to each other and they do have history, usually have they use when that happens, it's usually great interviews. Yes, America, F yeah. Uh, so in an interview with Bradshaw and Briscoe, Jack Hager revealed that his AEW contract expired in June, but he is keen on finding a way to remain on camera. Hager made waves last week after calling AEW President Tony Khan a communist, and alleging that Khan threatened his job over his political views. Hager shared, "It's interesting. I'm excited to find out. My contract expired with AEW in June, and I just left them. I'm currently working independence. I'm 42. And I think it's time to, I don't know, I want to find a way to be home more with my kids. I'm looking into more business opportunities, construction, rental properties. I love to sit down with you, John, and get some pointers about announcing maybe stay on camera that way. Really, just doing what I can. I've I've had a great career. Very blessed to have that career. Now it's easier. The pressure is off. Just trying to be a good dad and a good example for my kids. So, yeah, nothing wrong with that. Uh, invest your money into other businesses, as I think Undertaker's done also, and of course Bradshaw he's wrote a book about investing and stuff like that. And not sure if Hager will be a good announcer, but maybe it could work for him. Who knows? Be interesting. Uh, and this is a legit tough guy, collegiate wrestler. I think even Tommy Dreamer mentioned in an interview, "Hey, but this is back when Jack Swagger was in the WWE, and I think it was in the Real Americans with Dutch Mantel, Jed Coulter. Uh, it was with Jed Coulter, Real American, not Dutch Mantel, bad motherfucker. Uh, but Tommy Dreamer said, "Hey, if this was real, we'd all be getting our ass kicked by Jack Swagger." So that was you know Tommy Dreamer's comments about Jack Swagger. So obviously, pretty legit. Tough guy, can handle himself. So maybe he can be a coach or something like that. Oh, by the way, I do remember making kind of a. This is me being kind of humorous one day and bored, and actually made a video a while back. I'll see if I can find it in a minute. Uh, where, where I gave a perfectly good idea how to fix AEW. Uh, and this is going back to Pritchard. I guess making uh, supposedly, I guess Bob Holly said, "Hey, I know a good idea to increase business in WWE. Give me the belt, let me beat everybody." So I made a comedy spoof up, not a whole thing, but just sit there and kind of use that to because AEW is kind of started this kind of decline a little bit, and as soon as I find out, I'll print it. But yeah, part of it was Bob Holly comes in, that he gets the AEW belt, beats everybody. Uh, then him, Billy Gunn, and Jack Swagger would be a trios team. Jack Swagger and Billy Gunn become the tag team champions, or no, well they become tag team champions, but they'll do the Freebird rule where any two of the three would win the belts. Also, they will win the trios tag team belts. But in their matches, when they defend the trios belt, it'll be Bob Holly beating up everybody, while Jack Swagger talks about his hat, and Billy Gunn's out there just flexing and tell everybody to suck it. So, or scissor, whatever. I think that's all I said. Like I said, I'll look it back up and share it with everybody. That was kind of funny. Like I said, I was kind of bored, feeling a little humorous at the time. Uh, but yeah, I mean that's all he wants to do. Kind of just do what he can to make some money, stay home more, uh, not be on the road every night or anything like that. Just I guess he's got kids and wife and all that good shit, so wants to be at home more, and hey, nothing wrong with that. Um, but that is the other part of the spectrum where he kind of alienated probably a few payoffs. Um, but he would have had. I mean, he kind of shot himself in the whole foot, which I don't know. When I was thinking about that situation, I was thinking about another situation. So basically, this situation with Jeb Coulter and Jack Swagger, they was going to bring in Glenn Beck, I think, from Fox News, where he was working for Fox News at the time. Uh, I guess they'll put someone with him, and they was going to do like a little feud with Swagger and Coulter, Dutch Mantel. And unfortunately, Jack Swearer got pulled over and had some pot on him, and that kind of killed that push. And uh, even though him and Claudio as a team with the real being the real Americans, that shit got over like Rover. But again, I guess poor Jack Swearer, he was having to eat a lot of crap at the time, and unfortunately, Claudio had to be part of that ride too. But it was getting over. That's Claudio was at the time there got his WWE name already, son of a beast. But Claudio Castagnoli, um, uh, shit, I was about to say Caesar. What was Caesar? What was his name in WWE? Mother effer. He was Cesaro. Cesaro. He was Cesaro. There we go. Appreciate it, Joe. Yeah, when he was Cesaro in WWE or Antonio Cesaro. Yeah, kind of. Why did this man get this fetish with people just using one name? Anyway, but that's people kind of were popping that "We the People" thing, but they didn't want to do anything with it. Uh, but so see that reminded me of also when they finally gave Rob Van Dam a push. He beat John Cena for the WWE title, the spinning belt, uh, and then he won the ECW World title at the when they relaunched ECW. Unfortunately, him and Sabu riding down the road, and all of a sudden, uh, they got pulled over and got popped for marijuana. It's like, okay, was somebody freaking dropping dime on these people? I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but come on now. Uh, we the people was cool. Funny, I was a fan in WWE, not so much in AEW. Yeah. Right now I mean, they gave him the Ring of Honor World title. But yeah, I mean, then I mean, basically that's a dead promotion as far as I'm concerned. Uh, I only know of one other person. I can't think of her name. She's got a YouTube show, and she watches everything. Uh, but you got to, you got to check out the people who are doing the same shit you are. So, and she's okay. She's pretty cool. Uh, but I mean, seems pretty. I mean, um, she can be a little humorous at times. What was it? Yeah, she instead of calling the Young Bucks, she calls the Young Bucks the Young Bucks. I don't think she's a fan of the Young Bucks, but she'll do a review show, and she does a live stream of, like I said, I would say it, but I can't remember her name or anything like that. Maybe oh yes, Wrestle Tati, Wrestle Tati, um, but she'll do like Ring of Honor. I guess she got the app and everything to watch all the Ring of Honor stuff, the weekly shows and stuff like that. So, uh, mm, not my budget right now. Like right now, I do pay for Sling TV so I can watch Raw, SmackDown. Need to watch AEW. Actually, I've been watching a lot or rewatching uh Tales or I was about to say Tales from the Dark Side. Dark Side of the Ring. I'm on. Let's see, I just finished Mula, and they're going to the Chris Benoit. So this might be season 2 I'm entering in, and I stopped at Chris Benoit. Uh, just kind of watching them all. The Bruiser Brody one was pretty sad. Hernandez, pretty sad. Mula one is, some people say she did this, some people say she didn't. It's, I mean, I at the time I know like kind of going to change it here. That's what I do. Uh, should should have put this at the ending, but um, so yeah, I was watching it, and and I kind of, to me, when they, of course, this is my opinion, they announced that it's going to have at one of the WrestleManias a Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal, like they do Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal or Invitation, whatever it was is. But then you had some people was like saying, Moolah was this, Moolah was that. It's like, and there was a documentary movie, years prior to this called Lipstick and Dynamite, where this when she was alive, she was kind of part of that. People made accusations, she denied them, and nothing else was said. But now that she was, you know, passed away, of course, and now they were like, oh, screw that. Why doing this thing for her? She was basically a freaking pimp and pimped all these. And some, like I said, supposedly, one of them was on there, and got her name, and she was like, she had broken her neck, and uh, supposedly Mulu was trying to get her to sleep with somebody, but she didn't do it. She didn't want to do it, and then Mulu like kicked her out of the house and stuff like that. And she never did wrestle or anything again. And of course, there was the thing with Wendy Richter thing, but I think it was more of a Wendy Richter Vince McMahon thing than it was anything Mula. Mula was just a con thing. Wendy Richter's wanting Hulk Hogan money, I guess, and Vince McMahon's like, no, you're not really worth that much. Did the Madison Square Garden screw job? Had Mula dressed up as Black Widow, and basically was just on top of her because Wendy Richter's shoulders not never on the mat, but the referee made a quick 3 count, and she Black Widow, who got unmasked as Fabulous Moolah, won the belt, and that's the last of Wendy Richter's WWF career until she got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. And of course the Von Erich thing was, episode was pretty sad too. And just and rewatch the Montreal Screwjob ones because Screwjob, and just the banter with Vince Russo and Jim Cornette. Like, good gosh, two old men arguing like second graders. Is like, who cares? Anyway, uh, back to the show at hand. Back to our regularly scheduled show. Speaking of AEW, AEW Collision is set to make its debut at the legendary Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City on Saturday, December 21st, 2024, according to Andrew Zarian of the Madman podcast. This show will air live from the venue just one day after Ring of Honor's Final Battle event. It is reportedly scheduled on or for December 20th. If the plan comes to fruition, it will mark the first AEW event ever held at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Of course, Ring of Honor, ECW. I think just about every Northeast, independent promotion probably, ran shows there. Of course, that's what Next thing it's going to say. The Hamstring Ballroom has long been a staple of New York's pro wrestling scene, hosting numerous events for promotions like Ring of Honor and ECW over the years. Game Changer Wrestling is also set to hold an event there in January 2025. Tony Khan, speaking to Sports Grid in July, expressed interest in AEW or Ring of Honor, running the Hammerstein Ballroom, calling it a very interesting idea. Although Khan has never personally visited the venue, he has watched shows from there on television and finds it a really cool looking room, which it is. I mean, I always thought it looked pretty cool on TV. That little seating arrangement. I remember seeing a few ECW videos and stuff like that taking place there. They didn't have all their events in the arena, but yeah, I always thought it was pretty cool looking. So, and this is kind of a venue. No offense. I believe that the crowd would react pretty graciously towards AEW. They'll be the people who like AEW's brand of pro wrestling. Uh, Very enjoyable. So I'm pretty sure AEW goes there. That will definitely sell out, and it'll be a very loud vocal crowd. So be very interested to see how that winds up being. I'm not, if it winds up being that, I might actually because it's been a while since I've seen an episode of Collision. So um, I'll probably actually tune into that episode. Just see how the crowd reacts. Because the crowd this week, like I said, you know, I did give uh, credit to this week's AEW Dynamite. It was a pretty good show, but the crowd wasn't quite there the whole time. All right, now let's talk about the final boss, the Walk, the Walk, the Walk, the Walk. Dwayne The Rock Johnson shared his excitement and humility in a tweet about being named GQ's Entertainer of the Year, gracing the cover of their first ever Men of the Year issue. Uh, Pretty cool and humbling to be this year's first GQ Man of the Year cover. I sat with Zach Barron for this feature, and we talked a lot about how it's hard for me to hide as we sat on the porch at my farm, which is the place I go to step away from the noise. There's no being inconspicuous these days, but after 2 decades of high action, adventure, and comedy in huge movies, we talk about how I'm excited to do something entirely new, Vanish. Uh, Zach and I talked about our big upcoming film, Red One and Moana 2, and deep exploration I did with a completely different kind of movie, A24's Smashing Machine, uh, which is based on a minute. The Rock has had a remarkable 2024, starring in two films, uh, Red One and Moana 2, both released in November. Additionally, he made a significant impact in WWE, returning to the company and aligning with Roman Reigns, ultimately defeating Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40 Night 1. He also made a brief return at WWE Bad Blood, where he had a tense stare down with Reigns and Rhodes. So, yeah, I guess congratulations to him. He's GQ's Man of the Year. Um, and he actually uh, did a lot for the Appalachia high school kids. Spent some time with the football team. I think he got into the Falcons game. Actually, Falcons game, and didn't he bring in the Bad Blood pay per view? Can't remember. But this past week, I think he rented out a uh, one of the theaters at the AMC here in Bethlehem, Winder area, Durham County, and from the kids from Appalachia to watch this new movie, Red One. So, um, let's just be nice and say he did it. Didn't have to, but um, kudos to him, I guess, for doing it. All right, let's see here. All right, last thing we got here is we'll talk about the Street Profits a little bit. Street Profits, not not feeling it in the WWE. Don't I think they've been very vocal about not liking their position in the company right now, especially now that Bobby Lashley's left. Uh, so now there's been growing speculation surrounding the future of the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, in recent weeks, sparked by what seems to be frustration from the duo over their booking. This frustration has been highlighted through recent tweets from the two men. A report from Fightfield Select has revealed that other talent have observed similar sentiments regarding the Street Profits situation. Although the report does not provide a definite answer about their future with the WWE, it does suggest that their frustration is genuine. There is no clear information regarding whether their contracts are set to expire soon. Street Profits signed multi-year deals in 2019, but the exact duration of their contracts remain unclear. When questioned about the future in wrestling during a recent interview, Montez Ford explained, "Still thinking about it. Street Profits are scheduled to compete for the tag team titles on Friday's WWE SmackDown." Um, I think it's no secret. I kind of share the same opinion as a lot of people do. I think Montez Ford is the Shawn Michaels of the team. He's got a bright future. What was it, last year, year before last? He competed in the Elimination Chamber, had a good showing. Actually, did something kind of saved the day because Logan Paul was uh, didn't appear right on cue, so Montez Ford did just a little bit extra to kind of make sure everything still ran smoothly, even though Logan Paul made the mistake. Um, but like I said, he made a good showing. Uh, he got in great shape. Dawkins dropped a lot of weight himself. Got to give him credit for that. But a lot of people see him as the Mario Jannetty fans, of course. And of course, he did not. Supposedly on social media, he did not like that one bit. But there was rumors about them splitting what 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago maybe. But it never did happen for whatever reason. Uh, I thought it was going to happen. I think when I first started this, it looked like it was about to start to happen, but it never did. Uh, but yeah, it seems like they kind of doing this thing where every team is, because you got the New Day about to split up. Looks like a DIY again are about to split up. Um, but this has been kind of long brewing. Uh, maybe they don't have to have one person turn against the other one. Maybe they can just when it comes to draft, uh, they have every year just split them up that way. One goes to Raw, one goes to SmackDown, and see how they do. Um, let them kind of do it that way. That way they ain't got to do the usual. Oh, whoever turn on one up the other one, and you know, and basically have a big barbershop type. I know I'm going back to the rocker split. Uh, or like I said, I was talking about on this week's WWE Raw recap show. It's like, why? Sometimes you don't have to let things keep sizzling. Just do it, man. Just have them lose an important match, and have it be one of their fault, and Xavier Woods kind of just says okay, no big, they argue a little bit, then okay, I cleared up. Raise each other's hands. When they get raise each other's hands, that's when Xavier just turns around and clotheslines Kofi Kingston. Just do it that way. I used to wasting too much time about it. But nothing's ever that subtle anymore. They like to let things think let things uh, sizzle. Uh, but yeah, I mean, to me, Montez Ford does have a lot of personality, uh, and it kind of helps him when his wife's a pretty big star, Bianca Belair. Uh, I thought that's what they were going to kind of do, kind of what did I say? I can't remember. Anyway, but he's got a ton of charisma, pretty good on the mic. Uh, Sometimes it's like, okay, you don't have to be total. Uh, you don't have to keep doing the tributes to other wrestlers like the crotch chop all the time and stuff like that. Sometimes you just gotta do your own thing. I know, kind of see Kevin Owens do it a lot. A lot of people do it a lot. It's like, okay, we get it. You're a '90s wrestling fan. We all were, but sometimes you gotta go out and kind of do your own thing. Uh, but yeah, I see bright things for Montez Ford. Not to say, again, not to say Angelo Dawkins going to be just left in the dust. Joking. A lot of the time I see they don't get the push they think they deserve. Get on social media and complain when they lose a possible push, like Sasha Banks. Uh, yeah. I mean but I mean they've been pushed as a top tag team. I mean they've had their that time kind of like the New Day. They've kind of been there. Multi. I think they held the tag team titles on SmackDown and Raw. New Day, they've held both belts multiple times. Had great matches with the Usos. Talking about the New Day, they split the Uso brothers up, and I don't think they'll get back together this time around. I mean, they'll probably get back together for the War Games match, and that's going to be it. But other than that, um, I mean, Jay Uso, what I've seen online and everything, is pretty popular. Um, he's got national charisma. His matches are becoming a lot better. You know, he had a couple of really good matches with Braun Breaker. Of course, he had a good match with. I mean, last real stinker of a match he had, Jey Uso had, was against Jimmy Uso. Since then, he's been pretty much uh, definitely getting better. And they lead to the AEW thing. The grass is greener there, and then they found out otherwise. Yeah, I mean, it would be funny to see Street Profits go to AEW and their first feud has got to be against Private Party, which is their doppelganger. Uh, yeah, Private Party be back on Collision and Ring of Honor or in catering is what they call it when they don't even get used on TV anymore. Uh, yeah, the crowd didn't pop hugely for them this week for Private Party this week, from what I can tell. They did kind of play their music and talk as loud as they could. So, yeah, they made them tag team champions, but now everybody's like, yeah, okay, who cares? Um, I'm talking about Private Party, not Street Profits. I think Street Profits had a good little push, good little thing. That's what happens sometimes too. Sometimes what gets over on NXT doesn't exactly get over on the main roster. I mean, it's almost kind of like, uh, you know, like football. Some people have great high school, college careers, and when they get to their pros, baseball. Some people have go into minors, get AAA to get called to the majors. Don't do too good, and some people actually make careers being minor league baseball players. I mean, I don't know how much that still goes around, but uh, it did seem like there was like last time I went to the Stripers game. I feel like I forgot the guy's name though. seemed like there was one player that looked a little aged. Or not like old, but definitely not a young guy. Probably, yeah, probably, if not 30, maybe a little younger, a little older. But I think most people now, when they go to AEW, yeah, how's it working for Ricochet? I mean, yeah, I hope, yeah, I'm the same way. Actually, it's a Hurt Syndicate. Uh, but, I mean, wasn't, which, I mean, I think it was with the Pride, what they call 'em, Bobby Lashley with the Street Profits. Uh, it seemed like they was going good, and all of a sudden, it got dropped. I guess Bobby Lashley got hurt and decided to leave. Uh, but, yeah, I really don't agree with the, okay, Bobby Lashley's first match is going to be with Ricochet, or not Ricochet, Swerve Strickland. And that, you almost need to give the victory to Bobby Lashley to have him established. But it's almost like, I hate to do that to Swerve Strickland also. But it's not like they can't continue to feud either. And see, that's the thing about AEW. I mean, WWE, you can have a guy lose against a person, then get a victory back, and the feud kind of keeps going on for, you know, years or a couple or six, sometimes 3 pay-per-views, 6 months, a year, something like that. They don't mind building that story, but it seems like it's like a match here, there, then that's it. Um, Kind of like with the uh, Adam Page and Rick or Swerve Strickland feud, they've had 2 matches where Swerve won those matches. Actually, won the last man standing match. Then Page went off somewhere else, and all of a sudden came back and went after Swerve Strickland again, and then he got his win in that cage match. Like, okay, which yeah, you can kind of do that sometimes, but uh, Swerve was kind of wrestling other people, and then Adam Page just comes back and goes right after him. It's like, no, you should put Page something else and have something else happen where they kind of run each. Instead of just, okay, Page is back, going with Swerve Strickland. Um, cause him, or sort of cause him lose the belt, but didn't really cause him lose the belt. Yeah, I mean, Ricochet came in. He started using a different finisher, and it looked cool. Looked like a cool finisher. Now he's doing like a basically a sit down clothesline, his own version of the hidden blade, which is kind of dumb. In my The finish move he was doing before, he should have kept that one, kept doing it, and not Um, but apparently, I guess they're gonna throw him with uh, Takeshita for the international title, or that match might happen. Who knows? Might be Full Gear. Might be at the World's End next pay per view. Who knows? Or might be next week on Dynamite. But Ricochet, he's a talented dude. Okay, okay on the mic, I guess. Didn't really get to show it too much in WWE. Uh, but he did a little promo with Will Ospreay, and it was pretty good. Uh, but it seems like the Hurt Syndicate are kind of wanting to recruit Ricochet, so that might be better for Ricochet. Um, But then you got the dilemma of, hey, you gotta, he's going against a supposed heel, Takishna, who's with a heel group on Cal's family. Now you're gonna put him in a heel group, or supposed, even though they get. I mean, I don't know if you watched Dynamite last week or this week. The Hurt Syndicate got a pretty good pop. You cannot deny they got a good pop. Now, are they moving that viewership dial up a little bit like everybody else? No, but I mean, the bad thing about it is it's too many because you got two guys against supposed to be, I guess, babyface, the Bang Bang Link. I don't know. I guess New Japan said no, y'all can't use the Bullet Club name no more. Y'all gotta be. You can be the Bang Bang Gang, but no more Bullet Club. Because I ain't heard them refer to the Bullet Club. Talking about Jay White, Juice Robinson, and the Gun Brothers, which I ain't seen them on TV. But I don't know. I guess one of them got injured. Yeah, nobody's moving that dial. Which, I mean, it especially in pro wrestling, you can't just bring somebody in and it's going to move that. I mean, look at WCW. When Hulk Hogan came in, it didn't exactly move that dial. It didn't move that dial until a good storyline came in called the New World Order. Now that when Nitro first started, they were a little bit back and forth with WWE, but once that New World Order thing started taking off, that's when you had that 83 weeks of domination from WCW. Then again, it being wrestling, sometimes you just can't sign that new talent. You just gotta plug away and kind of see. And that's what happened. They got new talent, but then you gotta have that talent and things that people are interested in. Like they brought in Steve Austin as a ringmaster. Then they finally turned him Stone Cold, and Stone Cold kind of kept evolving into Austin 360. That King of the Ring, Austin 316. As soon as that happened, lightning in the bottle, they were off to the races and wound up conquering the whole Monday Night War. Oops. Uh, but see, that's kind of like now it's like they got a buttload of talent, and I mean it's like I just read what Dutch Mantel said. It was throwing matches together, going out for 15, 30 minutes, doing all having good matches. Like I said, sometimes those matches, in my opinion, were too long. There was a match with um, Claudio and Adam Page. It was a good match for first 5-10 minutes, and after they got all their shit in, they were lost because they got all their shit in. I mean, it wasn't okay. Let's work up to here, then I get part of my shit in, but whatnot. And but you Claudio got all his shit in, Page got all his shit in, then they kind of had this repeated, and they do. Like I said before, I'm not a Adam Page fan, but the dude's pretty talented. Last night, him and Christian Cage had a good tag team match with Juice Robinson and Jay White. Very good match. Probably the best match on the whole night. I thought it was better than Swerve and Leo Rush. And I had my, disagreements about the whole Leo Rush match. But, again, go check it out. But yeah, uh, did they have, if they do things right, did they have potential to, because, I've said before, it's like, it's sad that, like you said, it's sad they have all that talent and can't, they should at least get a million, uh, say views. Yeah, a million people watching Dynamite every week, especially with all that talent they have. Unfortunately, and I've said it before, they need to. What's it going to hurt now? mean, shouldn't hurt. Not a thing. You got Chris Jericho, the Ring of Honor champion again. Um, so let Collision be a Ring of Honor only show. Have Jericho over there with his little learning tree. Have nothing but the other. Don't quit having Ring of Honor people on Dynamite. Uh, maybe once a special occasion, whatever. Maybe their year end event or whatever, or uh, maybe kind of like WWE did a couple times. Have like a couple of NXT wrestlers come in. I mean, because they had the Royal Rumble every year, you can always use that to see how people react to them and how they will react to that bigger spotlight. Uh, then they get called up, but have something of course AEW don't have a Royal Rumble or anything like that, but they have the World's End or their big event. Maybe every now and then there's somebody that want to kind of maybe move up to the main roster. Have them wrestle like one of those 0 hour matches, or maybe a little special attraction match to see how they handle the bigger spotlight. Of course, I need to keep Ring of Honor in the smaller arenas and stuff like that too. Smaller venues like Hammerstein Ballroom, uh, or just have them based somewhere and just kind of wrestle around this almost like a developmental territory, kind of like a NXT is, and maybe kind of shuffle around up in other places. And the thing about it, NXT is getting popular again. I mean, uh, I know before AEW came in, people looked at NXT as the you know best. I mean, it was owned by the it was owned by WWE. It's their developmental territory. Everybody was like, they're way better than the main roster. But that's different people's opinion. I ain't gonna get into that, but some matches were a little bit better than the main rosters, but the main roster's full show was way better than NXT's. That's my opinion. And some of the matches were way more over than NXT's. But uh, then, of course, when AEW came in, they had NXT on Wednesdays. And this one, NXT had Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong. I think Karrion Kross was on that roster at the time. Uh, Bobby Fish, that whole crew, DIY. And then AEW debuted on the Wednesday. But AEW had uh, Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose, Moxley. Of course, John Moxley was Dean Ambrose, of course. Then you had the indie darlings like Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, and so yeah, it was pretty much established and ex WWE people being developmental people. And of course, what did Tony Khan do? As soon as Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, uh, like Karrion Kross, he went done something else, then came back, or he got called in the main roster and floundered and left and came back. But Tony Khan wound up signing the Adam Coles and stuff like that because they didn't want to, because of the shit, because Vince McMahon got sad or not sad, got mad because I think this is what happens. Nobody's going to beat my product. So that's why he said, I'm going to look over after this. And then I think that's when people, I'll have this discussion later after the whole case is done. But I think that's when things kind of got let out. Not be a conspiracy theorist, but Little Miss Janet wasn't the only one who was talking. I believe somebody else told the shareholders, and probably a certain daughter, maybe the son-in-law, maybe a son as well. Who knows? But that's neither here nor there. I'll keep my that's a little bit of my conspiracy theory, but like I said, I'll talk more about that maybe once that case is done. But but it is what it is. But yeah, I think it's sad. But now here's the thing too. Now WWE now needs to, and I think they're doing a pretty good job. I mean, Jey Uso, he's been doing pretty good. Uh, Braun Breaker, man, uh, I'm not sure what his role is going to be in Survivor Series, even if he has a role, but have him evolve a little bit. But that I don't care who I face, I'm just going to kick their ass type persona that Braun Breaker has. That dude's going to be a star. I'm not gonna say like he's Stone Cold, like he's Braun Breaker, but he's got that I don't give a flip attitude like Stone Cold did. But he's not like Stone Cold. He's gonna be Braun Breaker. He's gonna be a star with his own name and everything. I mean, yeah, he's a Steiner, but other than that, he's got his own character that you know I'm here to kick people's asses and win championships. And I think that's what's. I mean, he's doesn't have catchy, phrases or anything like that. He is a little smooth on the mic, and all that, um, but not, not a rock on the mic or anything like that. But he just simply gets his point across, and that's he he can do plenty in the ring to overshadow maybe being Mr. Personality on the mic. I mean, he's got enough personality on the mic. Average at best personality, extraordinary in the ring, and the whole character is somebody I think the crowd can get behind and make him a star. Uh, Carmelo Hayes, he could be like maybe I'll shoot, this that. Uh, I mean, I ain't seen enough of them to really call this, but the whole cocky persona can be the yin to Braun Breaker's yang or whatever, yin yang, whatever. Probably not the most perfect counterpart, but need to find somebody who can be a Flair to his Dusty, or a Rock to his Austin. Even hope I'm explaining this right. That perfect opponent counterpart they can kind of ride up together, or not together, but ride up together and continue having good matches and draw money, of course, or draw ratings, draw more interest from Netflix. This gave them a chunk of money. I forgot how long that's going to last, but once that deal goes, it's like Netflix, like, yeah, you got this Breaker guy and this, yeah, here's some more money. Stay on Netflix. Don't go anywhere else. Don't go back to USA or anything like that. Fuck them. Uh, uh, that Trick Williams looks like he's going to be a star. Perfectly good baby face. I really don't get the whole whoop that Trick thing when his name's Trick, but oh well. Um, I'm pushing 50. I'm not. I'll tell you right now. I'm not hip. uh, I'm not that hip with it. I couldn't tell you who the most popular. Okay, the biggest pop star I know is uh, Taylor Swift. Yeah. Okay, she's a household name. Everybody knows that. Anybody below that, I have no clue. No clue whatsoever. But anyway, I digress on that. But Trick Williams, he seems like he's going to be a star. And that WWE ID, they're going to get more talented. They going to go out and get legit athletes too. I know they go to colleges sometimes and talk to these college athletes and say, hey, if the pro thing don't work out for you, you don't get drafted, or uh, whatever you do, whatever sport you do, You get done with it, do something else, make some money. We'll give you an opportunity. I mean, that's a big that's very old school. I mean, people don't know how else old school. That's the way territories used to do it. Uh, Vern Gagne, that he would go out, and Eddie Graham, I think, did the same thing. Uh, he liked the real collegiate, especially Vern Gagne. He liked the real collegiate wrestlers. So University of Minnesota or all the universities around there, whoever the NCAA champion is, or whatever, he'll approach and say, "Hey, you know, give the pros a try." Uh, I mean, people forget. I mean, like Ken Patera, he was a weightlifter, but he was a legit big, strong, tough guy, and he had enough athletic ability to become a professional wrestler. And until that whole McDonald's incident, was a very good uh, professional wrestler. He was doing very good for himself. Uh, Ricky Steamboat, I mean, he's a high school. I think he wrestled. I'm not sure if he went to college or anything like that, but I have to look that that up. But uh, I think Vern trained him and all that. Paul Orndorff, legit athlete, legit football player, legit tough guy, and it does help to be Mike Graham's friend. But the guy was a legit athlete and got trained by the Grahams and became a very good professional wrestler. But and of course, Bill Watts same way. Ole Anderson same way. Bill Watts seen uh, this kid from the University of Oklahoma. They called Doctor Death. He earned that name when he was in college, high school, not high school, I think. Uh, just because he, broke his nose, wore like a protective mask, and somebody said, you look like Doctor Death, and that name stuck. And he was, on that mat and on the field, freaking all like Arn Anderson would say, "Oh man." So he recruited him to in professional wrestling, uh, and Ole Anderson he had his boy who was a legit wrestler and athlete, and Buzz Sawyer. So that's what So going back to seeing what these territory guys done, you do see the WWE doing that. I forgot his name. I should have made this part of the story since I did digress into this. But they just signed a guy who played in the NFL. You know, I mean, maybe not a big star in the NFL, but you know what? He did get signed, and that somebody in the NFL thought he was a good enough football player to fit their, uh, you know, team. But some things happen. You got a lot of great college athletes who get drafted in the NFL, but just don't uh, cut the mustard for whatever reason. So now it's like WWE is now reaching out to them and giving them opportunity. Hey, we got a performance center. We'll train you, pay you, and all this good stuff. And and right now, what's AEW doing? They making the same strides, or they're just gonna? Okay, we'll wait to see who next person WWE releases, or maybe the next you know latest greatest thing from New Japan or Independence. Which hey, they might not have those independents no more since WWE started their ID program. So uh, they need to start doing their own recruiting because as they're seeing, I mean, I'm pretty sure if Bobby Lashley was drawing these huge, because they do have the minute by minute intervals of of who's drawing in the ratings and who's not, and who's selling merchandise and who's not. If Bobby Lashley was in the Hurt Business, was raking in this huge money, guess what? Everybody be saying bloodline. What? Dude, what's a bloodline? We'd be talking about the Hurt Business dominating all these WrestleManias, not the Samoans, not Roman Reigns, Usos, or anything like that. Now, I mean, it took a while for Roman Reigns to finally get up. I mean, they finally did the right thing, pull the trigger, and have him go heel, be a put Paul Heyman with him, and this story. Finally got him in the story where everybody sunk their teeth in it and bought into it and watched, and it was very interesting. And that's another thing now that they got all this talent too, they got to come up with they can't just rely now on the bloodline. It's like, okay, now it's going to get to a point to where, yes, as much as people enjoyed it, it's going to have to, you know, it's going to have to end. And these new stars with new storylines, it's got to emerge. And hopefully, Triple H is ready, dialing in, has some kind of book and jot ideas down already, which I think he does. I think, I mean, this is what he said he's the game. He's a student of the game. He should know now what he has to do. Same thing, WWE stuff for years. It's like, okay, no more Hulkamania. People getting sour to this, and then Hogan left. So okay, what can we do now? Well, we'll start this new generation. You got guys who can really go in the ring like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. You got these young guys, Scott Hall, we dress him up as a Cuban guy, as Scarface. Call him Razor Ramon. And we got this big dude who they sure as hell didn't know what to do with him in Atlanta. So let's have him as Shawn Michaels' bodyguard. He don't have to. They love Shawn Michaels and I think it's or Scott Hall loved Vinny Vegas. He couldn't be Vinny Vegas in WWF at the time. So hey, you're a bodyguard. You're big. You're tall. You're big. You look like a big old bodyguard. You're Diesel. And they gave him a big push. And I mean, at the time, wrestling was not flourishing at the time, but it was starting to pick up a little bit of steam, back because everybody's, forgot about the steroids. Right? Forgot about the ring boy scam. Not forgot, but it's like, where we're having those things, like, hey, it's all gone now. Time to move on. Move on with our lives. And Vince was found not guilty of the whole steroid thing. So, hey, we're starting to get this new crop of people, and now WCW's getting every little. They got Hogan, yay, Savage, yay. But man, it's like, man, what are they gonna do with this? This Stunning Steve Austin. He's pretty good. Oh, he's doing TV jobs to Randy Savage now. Oh, he just recently got fired. And look what happened. But anyway, I think I've babbled long enough now. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the song. Everybody enjoyed tonight's program. If you did stick around the whole time, I do appreciate it. Yes, if you didn't watch this live and watch this on the replay, if you want to call it, appreciate you hanging out for me. Like I said, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Also, be a champ. Hit that subscribe button. Share with friends. Get them subscribed to this channel. It's all greatly appreciated. Hopefully everybody has a good one. Take it easy. Until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.
Thank you for checking out our P2 Vision. Subscribe to our P2 Vision to watch Ronald Ray's content that covers the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. His weekly content starts off with Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. Every Tuesday, Ronald Ray asks 5 questions about the sport of professional wrestling. So tune in and have some fun. Then it's WWE Monday Night Raw Recaps, where he recaps all the action from the Raw brand. Ronald Ray also does an AEW Dynamite recap show where he recaps and has fun doing it. Do you like live streams? Well, join Ronald Ray live on Spot Show Livestream, where he discusses current wrestling. Join the chat and have fun. Spot Show Livestream is on Thursday nights starting at 8 p.m. If current pro wrestling isn't your thing, like all wrestling past and present, or you're a new fan and want to hear how things were back in the day, then tune in to Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where Ronald Ray discusses back in the day when wrestling was wrestling, featuring watch-alongs. That's Wrestling Gold Friday Night on Fridays starting at 8 p.m.